Geomancy remains as relevant now as it ever was, not least because its perspectives point to dimensions of reality that today's society has forgotten and desperately needs to relearn. To the diviners of earlier times, the entire world was a dance of meanings that could be read by the perceptive eye and interpreted by the attentive mind. When birds flew past from a particular direction, when the stars and planets assumed certain arrangements, or when the chance patterns of a geomantic divination gave rise to a specific set of figures and their interactions, some part of the great dance of the cosmos was brought into clearer view. All these events formed pages in what scholars and magicians of the Renaissance called the Book of Nature, a book that geomancers, among many others, studied with great care and learned how to read. The old geomancers had no time for the modern notion that the world of nature is simply a passive collection of objects waiting for us to push our interpretations on them. From the geomancer's perspective, nature is an active, creative presence. Magicians and philosophers of the Middle Ages and Renaissance often spoke of two aspects of nature, using a convenient bit of Latin wordplay that relies on the fact that natura, nature in Latin, comes from a root meaning to be born. One of these aspects they called natura naturata, nature that is born. Nature as a collection of things we can perceive with our outer senses, things that are born and live and pass away. The other they called natura naturans, nature that gives birth, nature as a creative power that gives rise to everything that is born and lives and passes away. If natura naturata is the book of nature, then natura naturans is its author. Closely related to this latter realization is the knowledge of the earth as a living and conscious entity, not simply a mass of raw materials for our use, but an intelligent creature in whose vast body we live and move and have our being. Nowadays, many people associate this idea with tribal cultures, or with scientists such as James Lovelock, who have pointed out that the earth does in fact behave like a single organism. Few remember that before the rise of modern materialist thought, the same concept had a central place in Western cultures as well. The old magical philosophy of the West sees all living beings as unities formed of three aspects: anima, or soul, the aspect of consciousness and essence; spiritus, or life, the aspect of energy, imagery, and vitality; and corpus, or body, the aspect of material form. So alongside the corpus mundi, or the body of the world, the physical world of matter we experience with our senses, traditional lore places the spiritus mundi, the essential life energy of the world, and the anima mundi, the soul of the world, its consciousness and innate intelligence. It's in the anima mundi, the consciousness of the world, that the patterns perceived by the geomancers take shape as rhythms in the interaction of the four magical elements: earth, water, fire, and air. Each of the geomantic figures, as explained in chapters 2 and 3 of this book, represents a particular pattern of forces, with single and double dots representing active and passive elemental influences, respectively. These patterns echo outward through the spiritus mundi to become visible to our ordinary senses in the realm of the corpus mundi. A skilled geomancer can read these patterns in the dance of the geomantic figures before they read manifestation, sense how those patterns will shape events, envision new patterns in the depths of meditation and scrying, and set those new patterns in motion with precisely chosen magical actions to bring events into a new state of balance. The regular practice of divination is the key to learning this process. As you watch the dance of seemingly random events, use intuition to sense their meanings, and then compare the results to what actually happens. You can readily learn to use the subtle awareness of the old geomancers to make sense of the world. This is why divination formed the core of the old geomantic tradition, and other practices such as meditation and magic played a secondary role.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.